Hello and welcome. I'm Matthew Stone, and this is Warscope Intelligence, your fast, focused briefing on the stories shaping global security. Numbers before narratives, evidence before analysis. In the next few minutes, you are getting the full picture: what triggered this, what is actively breaking down right now, and where the trajectory of this war is pointing. Draw your own conclusions. The war is going wrong, and now the cracks are showing from the inside out. The United States Embassy in Israel has cracked open, leaking secrets, bleeding trust, and teetering on the edge of full internal collapse. American diplomats on the ground are turning against their own leadership, defying direct orders and feeding sensitive communications straight to the press. Back in Tehran, Iranian state media is running the footage on loop. The message from Iran's officials is sharp and gleeful. Washington cannot even manage its own house, let alone win a war. The revolt inside the embassy walls is no longer something American officials can quietly contain. Multiple staffers stand accused of deliberately exposing private messages sent by the U.S. ambassador, blowing open the mission's internal communications, and triggering a crisis that has rattled the entire diplomatic operation. The deputy chief of mission stepped in hard, putting embassy personnel on notice that further disclosures would carry severe professional consequences, up to and including forced removal from their post. The warning was unambiguous, it was forceful, and it was immediately handed to journalists, appearing in full on CNN within hours of being circulated internally. That single moment tells you everything. The memo demanding silence became the loudest signal yet of how completely authority has collapsed inside that building. The deputy's message framed the leaks not merely as acts of disloyalty, but as direct threats to operational security and the physical safety of personnel on the ground. Anyone found responsible, the memo stated, would face removal with prejudice alongside a range of additional disciplinary measures. Yet the document landed in newsrooms anyway, exposing the depth of the mutiny and the degree to which Trump's diplomatic team has lost the confidence of its own staff in one of the most critical postings on Earth. All of this internal fracturing is happening against the backdrop of a war that is growing more punishing by the day. On the 28th of February, the United States and Israel executed a coordinated strike deep inside Iranian territory, an operation that ended with the death of Iran's supreme leader and sent shockwaves across the entire region. Tehran did not absorb the blow quietly. Iran launched a sweeping campaign of retaliatory strikes targeting American military installations, embassy compounds, and intelligence infrastructure stretched across the Middle East, refusing to confine the battlefield to its own borders. Washington's regional partners have found themselves directly in the crosshairs. Arab nations that built their security around American guarantees are now watching Iranian missiles and drones arc toward their soil, their energy infrastructure, and their strategic facilities. Israel itself has absorbed close to 24 separate waves of Iranian missile and drone salvos, with air defense batteries firing continuously and civilian alert sirens becoming a near-permanent feature of daily life. Saudi forces confirmed the interception of 3 drones approaching from the east of Riyadh, a reminder that Iran's reach is extending in every direction simultaneously. And even as those projectiles are being knocked out of the sky at enormous cost, a financial reckoning is building that Washington is struggling to get ahead of. Inside the first 4 days of active combat, the United States military has absorbed close to $2 billion in confirmed equipment losses, and the meter is still running. The single largest line item driving that figure is the AN/FPS-132 Advanced Early Warning Radar, a system so strategically vital that analysts described its destruction as a blow to the entire regional defense architecture. That radar sat at Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, and its value alone clears $1.1 billion, making it one of the most expensive individual assets the United States has ever lost in a single engagement. Qatar confirmed the strike. Iranian missiles hit the system directly during the opening barrage on February 28th, stripping American commanders of a critical layer of missile detection capability across the Gulf at the exact moment they needed it most. Days later, 3 F-15E Strike Eagles went down over Kuwait, lost in a friendly fire incident involving Kuwaiti air defense units, in a moment that combined military tragedy with acute political embarrassment. All 6 crew members ejected successfully and survived. The aircraft did not. Replacing those 3 jets carries an estimated price tag of $282 million, stacked directly onto an already staggering bill. Iran wasted no time claiming credit, publicly insisting it brought the jets down and accusing the United States of fabricating the friendly fire explanation to conceal the true scale of its battlefield losses. Those shootdowns now stand as the first officially acknowledged destruction of American combat aircraft since hostilities began, a milestone that carries symbolic weight far beyond the dollar value of the planes themselves. Meanwhile, Iran's first retaliatory wave also carved directly into the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain, one of the anchor points of American naval power across the entire Middle East theater. The strike demolished 2 satellite communications terminals and gutted several structures at or adjacent to the base, severing links that coordinate naval movements across the region. The SATCOM systems destroyed in Bahrain represent roughly $20 million in hardware, installation, and operational infrastructure. That number pales next to what Iran claims it has taken out in the United Arab Emirates, where Tehran says it landed a direct hit on the radar component of a THAAD missile defense battery. Satellite imagery reviewed by open-source analysts points to a genuine strike on that location. The radar array alone carries an estimated value of $500 million. Add it all up, and the United States is staring at nearly $2 billion in confirmed losses, a shattered embassy, a diplomatic staff in open revolt, and an adversary that is laughing publicly at every single one of them. And before you go, if you want clear updates, timelines, and deep context on the world's biggest flashpoints, hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next briefing. This is War Scope Intelligence. See you in the next one.